What's poppin', everybody? This is the cartoon kid Ray Rollins, and today on the channel I will be talking about Infinity Train Book 3 Episode 5, The Colored Clock Car. Now, per usual, man, before I get into breaking this episode down, I'm gonna have to give you guys that episode breakdown. So the whole little group of four, Grace, Simon, Hazel, and Tuba, are continuing their little path to the apex, right? And on their path to the apex, Hazel wants to stop and take a nap for a little bit because the journey's been long and she needs a rest. So Simon jokingly says, you know what, we're close to home, why don't we just stop and take a nap on this little bridge right here? And obviously Hazel takes him a little bit serious, plops down and takes a nap, or acts as if she's going to take a nap, but basically Simon's like, nah, come on man, get up. And Tuba's like, no, if she wants to take a nap, she's gonna take a nap. Long story short, Grace basically convinces Tuba to pick up Hazel and carry her so she can rest for a little bit. So they stumble across this new car, which turns out to be the Colored Clock Car. And the whole objective of this car is to basically have everyone in the team of four get along so they can work together, find the key to the car door, or train door rather, which will unlock the door leading to their exit. So Hazel's like, you know what? I want Simon and Tuba to be friends, so I want these two to work together, and me and you, Grace, we're gonna work together. So that's the whole thing. They're both working together to get out of this car. Now, to summarize everything, tension between Simon and Tuba is growing in this episode, and it's coming to a peaking point, if you will. Simon's definitely getting a little ballsy, and he thinks he can take Tuba one-on-one. So, as they're trying to work together to find the key to the exit, Simon's basically taking the lead, trying to do his own thing, and Tuba is trying to go her own little route. But they eventually work together to find the key, and you know, I'll be honest, it's a happy moment. It's a very happy moment. Now, they end up getting out of the car as the car ends up switching up on them, and Hazel and Grace end up making their exit. Simon exits along with them, but Tuba is stuck behind, and this freaking broke my heart, man. Simon tells him, yo, go on ahead, I'll save Tuba. So Simon goes back towards Tuba, and he basically tells her, you know what? You're not a person, you're a null, which is nothing, a creation of the train, and just basically ends up tossing Tuba off the train, and I guess you can say he wheeled her. Now, of course, Simon goes back to Grace and them, and Simon basically tells Hazel, you don't have to worry about Tuba no more, and he basically tells her that, yo, I wheeled Tuba. Tuba's no more, Tuba's dead, it's over with. And this basically is gonna send send Hazel into a rampage, and that's where the episode ends. Now, my first impressions, man, my first initial thoughts as the credits were rolling, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. My emotions, I wouldn't say were all over the place, but the end of this episode had me feeling some type of way. I'm not gonna lie, it definitely had me feeling some type of way. Tuba is portrayed to be the whole motherly figure in Hazel's life. We know that Hazel doesn't have a family, and Tuba's always been there for Hazel. She's always there to protect Hazel, even while dealing with the apex at the beginning of this season, man. Tuba is looking out for Hazel's best interest. Her main goal is to protect Hazel as if she's her daughter. And it's even said in this episode, and I'm kind of getting off into moments or the explanation of the episode, but it's even explained during this episode once Simon and Tuba have their own little breaking the ice moment where Tuba basically gets Simon to have a little chuckle, and he's starting to open up with Tuba, and he asks Tuba who's Bugle, because Tuba made a wisecrack that, yo, even Bugle was more mature than you. And Tuba basically tells him that Bugle was her daughter. Now, what happened to Bugle, it's not explained, but she says that Hazel basically fulfilled that spot, and Hazel's her new daughter. Now, I gotta be 100% honest. Just to see that moment where Tuba and Simon basically talk for a little brief second, but to see them have that little chuckle together, it's like, okay, you know, they're breaking the ice a little bit. But that betrayal at the end, man, where Simon basically does our homie Tuba in, man, I can't believe it. That broke my heart. 100% broke my heart. But I gotta start off at the beginning. So, as I said, Simon and Tuba had their main differences at the beginning of the season. Simon is the whole pessimistic, I'm gonna do things my way type of person, and he's gonna have it his way. But Tuba, obviously being concerned with Hazel's safety and Hazel's well-being, is like, nah, we're gonna do things this way. Like, for example, the whole taking a nap on the bridge thing. Tuba's like, no, Hazel needs to rest, we can wait for a little bit, which Grace agrees with. And that's just one of the many examples where Tuba and Simon almost end up butting heads. Now, the thing that really gets me with this episode is, like I said, we know Tuba and Simon keep butting heads throughout the entire season, and as I said earlier, it came to a boiling point in this episode where things about to boil over, right? Simon is really getting ballsy, and he's thinking, yo, I can take Tuba one-on-one. I can take Tuba one-on-one. And we already know Tuba, being the monster that she is, she can fuck Simon up, okay? That's at least my prediction right there. She can give Simon the hands, the gorilla hands. But Hazel had the most brilliant idea of having Tuba and Simon to work together. And when she said that, I was thinking, okay, these two aren't going to fight it out. Which, obviously, with this being somewhat of a kid's show, being on Cartoon Network, obviously you're not going to expect them to have some type of brawl. I want to see them have a brawl, man. I'm the action-y, anime-loving guy. I like watching Dragon Ball Z and all the type of action-y shows like that. So I want to see this gorilla beat up Lil Simon. But I'm not going to lie. Once Hazel said that, it had me thinking like, okay, you know what? They're just going to go the route of having these two work together and these two becoming friends. Maybe Simon and Grace are going to come to the realization that gnolls aren't bad, which I don't know why they necessarily thought that in the first place. I don't know if it's really been explained, if they have something to do with the whole kids disappearing theory that they made up a few episodes back. But as I was watching the episode and that scene was playing out, I was like, okay, so Tuba and Simon are eventually going to end up becoming friends, and the whole Apex is going to learn the whole system of the train and how it works, and eventually end up getting out of here. And I was having that idea of thinking, but this is what really got me, and I kind of necessarily enjoyed it because it definitely pulled some heartstrings, man. Owen Dennis and the Infinity Train writers threw me for a huge loop. They pulled a huge swerve on me, man. They had me thinking that these guys are going to end up working together, which they did, obviously, just for the benefit of getting out of that car. And once that final scene played out, I was like, no, man, don't do Tuba in like this. Come on, man. And Simon did it. Simon ended up sending our homie Tuba to the death, man. It's just like, whoa. I didn't see that coming, but I saw that coming as it was unfolding. I really was hoping that that wasn't the case. And the ending scene where Simon basically tells Hazel that he did Tuba in. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it's the voice acting, but it's just the plot of the story, man. It just made me tear up a little bit. I was just like, damn, how can you do Tuba like that, man? Tuba wasn't trying to hurt nobody, bro. But you had to do Tuba in like that? Come on, man. Damn. It had me feeling some type of way. I'm not even gonna lie. So, I'm going to wrap it up with this, my review. This episode, obviously, was the normal length of Infinity Train episode, but it was more eventful, you know. We get to see a little bit of a backstory on Tuba, not too much, just a little tidbit that we know that Tuba had kids, and we get a little brief mention of her daughter, Bugle, and it's just, we get to see her and Simon's rivalry, I guess you can say, come to a boiling point. Now, I'll say this. Overall, this episode was okay. I'll give it a nice 7.5 out of 10 because it was just a little bit more fulfilling. Of course, we have that little action-y scene at the end, if you want to call it that, where we basically see Simon do Tuba in. What really makes this episode different than the others, well, besides the obvious reasons, is the freaking betrayal at the end. As I said, Simon and Tuba's rivalry reaches a boiling point, and the whole thing is, how is it going to end? How is it going to play out? Are the two going to end up fighting each other? No. I personally get hit with that swerve, and Simon ends up taking the cheap way out and sending Tuba into the little grinder or grater or whatever the heck you want to call it, the train tracks, which basically does away with her. And one thing I gotta say, I don't like how that played out. I'm not a huge fan of that because, me personally, I want to see a fight between the two. And doing that, like I said, it was not a cheap way out for the writers, obviously. It was a cheap way out for Simon. That was a good move by the writers because Simon and the Apex as an entire whole are the antagonists. So what are they going to do? They're going to take cheap shots. They're going to take shortcuts. It's just like the heel in wrestling. They're going to hit you with a low blow. Simply put, they're going to take the very easy way out, which he did. Tuba had absolutely no way of defending herself. I know I'm breaking it down like it's a freaking wrestling match, but hear me out. I personally wanted them to have a little fight, just to settle a little score between each other. To settle their whole little beef or to establish dominance in a sense. I want them to fight it out, okay? But by having Simon take the easy way out by basically sending a defenseless Tuba to her death, essentially, that served as a way better continuation to the story. Because, as I said, that's the cheap way out. What do you expect a bad guy to do? To take the cheap way out, right? And the reason why that made that such a more powerful moment, and why that, I'm not even gonna lie, made me, I wouldn't say shed a tear, but it brought me close to it. I'm like, oh damn. But that scene was much more impactful because we know that Tuba sincerely cares about Hazel. We seen the regular Tulip and even Metal Tulip have their own little experience with Knowles, as the Apex calls them, through season 1 and season 2 of Infinity Train. We know that these creatures or creations of the train are there to help these guys. And to see Simon do what he did to someone who just wants to help, basically a defenseless little girl, is just absolutely low down, dirty, mischievous, downright scummy. And I gotta tell you, man, if Tuba somehow ends up surviving or coming back and ends up getting some revenge on Simon, I love it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm doing these reviews after watching each and every individual episode. So I don't know what happens down the line, but I hope and I pray. I want Tuba to get her revenge, man. I don't see how it can happen in the plot, but I want it to happen. Tuba's got to get her revenge, man. Or something absolutely terrible has to happen to Simon. Grace, she kind of sympathizes for Hazel, so I'm not gonna give her any hate. But Simon, he gets all the hate in this episode. Although I preferred Simon and Tuba to end their beef in a simple one-on-one battle, it didn't happen. This is an anime. But this whole route that the writers chose was way more brilliant and really served to be a plot device that really drove my emotions. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. But to wrap this up, simply put, my review for this episode is gonna be a 7.5. You can say that this episode was probably no better than the other episodes. Maybe episode 4 was a tad bit better than this one, but what really set it off was the betrayal at the end. I'll give it that little extra half point that I normally give these episodes just because of that. With all that being said, man, this is the Cartoon Kid Ray Rollins. That has been my review for Infinity Train Season 3, Episode 5, The Colored Clock Car. Let's hope Tuba gets some justice, man. Tuba needs that justice. Tuba needs to come back and have Simon get them gorilla paws, man. But y'all know what it is, man. Tell me what you think of this episode. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me if you hate it. Tell me what you would rate it. And tell me what are your thoughts and opinions in general, man. Toss your opinions down in the comments box below. And until next time, I will see y'all when I see y'all. Peace out, everybody.